We're going to go ahead and move on to our next story. Now, the episode that was supposed to come out Friday is done. It's absolutely done. I sat on it, though, because what happened, and it's a good episode. I really like that episode. And I'm going to release it tomorrow, so it will get released. But I wanted to do this one first. So what happened was I had gotten communications from a couple different people. Veronica was like, hey, are you doing the story about this? I shouldn't make her sound like that. Veronica said, Jason, are you going to do the story about the Solar Observatory being shut down? And my friend Mitchum was like, hey, have you seen this? Like, they shut down. Mitchum was actually the first one who got a hold of me. He was like, hey, have you seen this? They're shutting down this Solar Observatory. No one knows why. And I'd seen it on 4chan. I blew it off. I was like, it's not a big deal. I just kind of, what's going on at the Solar Observatory, read a bit. I was like, that's nothing. And Mitchum was like, yeah, this is going on. So I kind of went back and took another look at it. I did start looking into it, and I'm like, okay, there might be something here. And then I come home from work, and this will probably seem incredibly minor to you, but again, I have a slight paranoid streak. I come home from work, and there's a note in my mailbox saying, you have a certified letter, you need to come pick it up, or, we'll redeliver it on such and such date, or whatever like that. And I'm thinking, who the hell is sending me certified letters? And I go, it's either one of two things. It's either some birthday money that somebody doesn't want to get lost. My birthday's coming up in about 2 weeks. Or I'm getting sued again. It's one of those two. And so I'm like, what? And I'm like, it could be, and those are the two main ones, but I'm thinking it could be something else. It could be something else. I started to get concerned. I'm like, because as much as I talk about myself personally on the show, I don't give out my personal email. My mind kept going back to the podcast. I'm like, I don't give out my personal address on the show, but it wouldn't be difficult for anyone with any sort of skill to find out. So I went down to the post office. I said, hey, can I pick this up? They said, no, it's a little too early. You have to wait because it was a Friday. The mail truck's moving around, stuff like that. You have to wait until Monday. And I go, can you guys at least tell me who it's from or like what it is? And they're like, we can tell you it's a letter, but we don't know anything else than that. And I'm like, okay. The reason why that prompted me to not release that episode was because a lot of people are talking about the Solar Observatory being shut down. And what they forget is the post office in the town was also shut down. So I'm thinking, did someone trying to send me a letter from there? Again, you're like, Jason, come on, that's ridiculous. But let me explain why. There's basically just a few reasons why this Solar Observatory was shut down, or this area was shut down. One, it's absolutely nothing that's been blown out of proportion in the media. It's possible there were no f.b.i. or Blackhawk helicopters or anything like that. It's just a solar observatory got shut down and the media blew it out of proportion like they always do. That's one option. Second option is there's some sort of contaminant spill. There's some sort of, mercury in the area. There's some sort of radioactivity in the area. There is just something going on that they needed to shut down. That one I'm a little suspicious of because if it was just a chemical problem, you wouldn't necessarily... Let's assume that the FBI has been there. I've heard that there were Blackhawk helicopters there, and we're going to table that for a second. Let's assume that the FBI actually physically was there. They wouldn't really investigate a mercury poisoning, or they wouldn't investigate any toxins in the water, or black mold infestation, or sentient soy, or anything like that. You'd see CDC out there. You would see people in biohazard suits that were there to clean up a contaminant. There's the other option that there is some sort of a criminal activity going on there in that area. So escaped convict, meth lab, overall drug running operation, arms smuggling operation. This is in New Mexico. I'm not saying that all New Mexico people smuggle drugs and make meth, but you know what I mean? It's kind of in this wilderness type area. It would be a good place to cook. So they could have cut, they said, you know what? We know someone's in this area. We're going to shut down 50 miles. You guys just happen to be in it. Postal workers leave. Solar Observatory people get out of here. FBI's coming in. We're going to do all this stuff. And they would use helicopters. Not necessarily, again, Blackhawks. I think that's a bit of an exaggeration, but could be someone doing an operation in the Solar Observatory that's criminal, or in the post office that's criminal, and they're doing their investigation. Generally, in that case, they wouldn't evacuate the people if they're trying to investigate those people, but if there was a dangerous criminal on the loose or some big operation out there, there's the option. People have said that the Solar Observatory detected a magnetic storm, detected alien spacecraft, whatever it is. I've heard stories that multiple observatories across the planet were shutting down. There was 4 of them, and that story's been debunked. That story's not true. So really, only the Sunspot Solar Observatory in New Mexico, that we know of, has been shut down. We don't know why. But I had another theory. A very ego-driven / paranoid theory. More paranoid than ego-driven, if I have to be honest. Golf rumors. When I did the episode on golf rumors, we covered them. We're saying some people thought it was a saint-worshipping group. Other people thought it was the psychic camera thing. And my suggestion was it's related to the GOLF, the Global Oscillations at Low Frequency device or instrument on the SOHO satellite, which is the Solar Observatory Heliolistic Object or something like that. It's a satellite in space that is just detecting issues with the sun. And the GOLF instrument is able to penetrate the sun, or not penetrate the sun, but it is able to read inside the sun, and it can figure out all this stuff. And I said, I think that golf rumors is a part of this. I think that the rumors are things that have been spread around in these observatories where they have detected things with the golf instrument, and they've talked to each other, and they have tried to say, there's something going on with the sun or near the sun or something like that. And that's the rumor. Not necessarily that it's true, but the readings coming back from the golf instrument are not what people expected. So that was my suggestion for what golf rumors was. I thought, what if someone mailed something, and this is a thing, if someone in the observatory used the post office to mail me something regarding that, and they tracked it to that observatory. What if that episode on golf rumors, which again was always said, use extreme caution, don't research, and me just blathering about it on a podcast, and some guy heard it in New Mexico, or gal, and goes, oh, he knows the truth. Write a letter, drop it in the mail, FBI descends on the Solar Observatory. Shut it down, we got investigated. So I held off on that episode. That had nothing to do with golf rumors or the Solar Observatory, but I go, you know what, if the FBI is going to come knocking at my door, let's take a breather. So, here's what happened. Saturday, I signed the little slip on the note. Saturday, they redelivered the letter to me, the certified letter. I opened it up. I owe the state of Oregon $70 for past tax dues. Okay, fair enough. Not getting sued. That's good. Wasn't some birthday money. That's sad. But it was $70. It wasn't someone mailing it out from the Solar Observatory. However, I still think that's what... Not me. Forget me. I think that it's not a chemical contamination because the FBI necessarily wouldn't investigate that. The criminal activity there... I don't see the FBI needing to shut down because FBI has gone into urban areas, all sorts of areas, and they're not like shut this hotel down, Arby's, close for the winter, you guys get out of here, we got to stop a crime. Like, that's just not the way the FBI works. What I think happened, and I think that I was on the wrong end point, but what I think happened was someone at that observatory was doing something, and they were mailing stuff out of that office, whatever it was, ricin or anthrax or secured documents or anything like that. And they said, you know what, everyone clear out because we know all of your names. They probably know all of the people who work there and they're watching them, but they want to see what information's coming out of that area from that observatory to that post office. That's what I think happened. I think it's a criminal matter, maybe a terrorist or espionage matter, but I don't think that it's aliens or Bigfoot or solar flares or golf rumors. Maybe golf rumors, but I don't think that it's anything super Fortean. I don't think it's anything super weird. The thing is that, and the thing that's a little frustrating is that we're never going to know, and no one's ever going to trust it. If the FBI clears out and the observatory opens again, I have another theory too, but If the FBI leaves and the Solar Observatory opens again and they go, it was just, we had a leak in our lines and the FBI wanted to check it out. Or if they're like, oh, no, it was totally legit. We had a leak in our lines, or there was some mercury in the water, or anything, no one's going to believe them. If the FBI is like, oh yeah, there's a dangerous criminal in the area, and so on and so on, no one's going to believe them. This theory is going to be running around for the next 5 years. People are going to be like, well, they shut down that observatory. The thing with the golf rumors thing, which I do now, the more I think about it, I think that is the most logical answer to what golf rumors really is that it refers to the golf instrument. They're not the observatory that information's fed into. I had to look that up. That information, I believe, is fed into a observatory or a computer system on the East Coast, not in New Mexico. I mean, is it possible that maybe that was the source of the golf rumors? They got that they got that information, and they were leaking it out. I mean, it's possible, like 0.001% possible. They didn't mail me, thank God. I don't want the FBI banging on my door. I also have another theory. I think it was probably something super minor, and now it's a publicity stunt. The observatory is open to the public. When they reopen, they're going to be mobbed by people, and it's just like, oh, it's just a learning opportunity. They never fuss up to that. They never admit that. But, did you ever know this observatory existed? I'm sure people in the area were vaguely aware of it. And after this happens, they're going to get so many people going up there. So, it's possible that it was a minor thing. And they just said, you know what, let's stay shut a couple more days. It could have been 2 FBI agents walked up there and they said, you know what, can you guys shut this down? We're going to run a train. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Maybe they're just running training exercises up there. And they don't want people to know. That, you know what? I bet you anything that's it. I bet you anything the FBI ran training exercises up there. When my dad was a minister, we had a church. And this local SWAT team asked, hey, can we run a training exercise in your church? My dad's like, oh, yeah, dude, that's totally awesome. Go ahead. And no one was able to go to church that day. It was a Tuesday, so it wasn't a whole horrible loss. But you know what I mean? Like, they don't want your video. They would clear. That's what it is, dude. It's a training exercise. And the FBI wanted yeah. That's the answer to that. I'll bet you money. FBI was running a building to building, because it's a perfect area. The observatory's oddly shaped. That's why the church worked, because it's such a weird configuration. The SWAT, if you go into an office building, they're all kind of laid out the same, but churches have weird architecture and weird corners. It's not necessarily about functionality, it's about form. So the SWAT team could, learn weird maneuvers in there. Learn how to maneuver in non-normal or non-traditional environments. Observatory would be great for that as well. And you would have the post office there, which would give them that would be where they'd set up. And then they could go into the wilderness and practice stuff as well. I almost guarantee you that's what that is. It's a training exercise. Damn. You know what? I could have started off with that and saved everyone 10 minutes. Hey, it's not about the destination. It's about the journey sometimes. Yeah. Well, and again, they'll never admit it, because what'll happen is they'll want to do it again. They'll want to do it again in another location, and then people will go out there, or they'll be flying drones over it, so stuff like that. They're just going to go do these training exercises, and I'll bet you money that's what it is. Golf rumors? Probably not. I still really like that episode. I think that was one of my funnest episodes to research, and that is the Solar Observatory story. Oh, and I want to say right now that today I got a YouTube comment from Ryan ML88. They're like, do you think that the Solar Observatory closure could be due to your golf rumors episode? And I was like, spoiler alert, dude. I've been prepping that. We're going to go with this angle. I'm going to research this and stuff like that. It's like 9 a.m. He's like, hey, everyone, this is what Jason's next episode is about. But no, Ryan, good looking out. Because, yeah, I didn't respond because I wanted to get this episode out, but I'll respond to your YouTube comment now. Yeah, that was kind of the angle I was looking at for a while, and it's petered out. But again, I appreciate that people are listening to the episodes and enjoying the episodes, and it means a lot to me. And I read all your comments. I think you guys have seen that. I read all your comments. I get back to you guys, and A couple of the upcoming stories we're going to do are stories too that were emailed to me by a couple of you. Hero Clovis, we're going to do that. We're going to do heliocentrism. That's coming up in a couple weeks, but Hero Globus, I think, is this week. It's weird. Just people take photos of weird cult stuff they find around their city or, flyers that are posted up around their college campuses. And they're like, hey, Jason, do a story on this. And they'll take a picture of some cult, like meet us up and light candles and all that. I love all that stuff. Feel free to send me that stuff. That was a clip from our daily podcast, Dead Rabbit Radio. Dead Rabbit Radio is available anywhere that you listen to podcasts. It's daily paranormal, conspiracy, and true crime news. If you want to hear the full episode that this clip came from, check the link below. Please like and subscribe. And hit that little bell, too. That does some magical stuff. Thanks, guys.